Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Jace Beleren Must Die. I almost forgot when we were sitting there in the pre-show, I almost forgot that we were here to do a show. Like, I had the overlays up, I had XSplit going, Zoom was going, we were all chatting, and I was like, oh, this isn't just everybody hang out in bullshit time. We're going to actually do a thing. We have a reason to be. So let me just hit the go live. Thank you. Welcome. Hello, everybody.
Hey, what is going on?
Hello.
Carlos, I am both glad and a little surprised that you survived to make it to this episode. You had a long weekend, buddy.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I had Roll20 Con over the weekend. So I was running streams and whatnot. Just a lot of Twitch.
Yes.
So I took Monday and Tuesday off.
Nice.
I made the mistake of not going grocery shopping ahead of time. So I literally ate a family-sized box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch for an entire day. Like, that's all I ate. Like,
Yes.
8 bananas and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So that's what I've been doing the last couple, and a lot of The Office. I've been watching The Office. It's like someone broke up with me.
And it's just like, what happened?
It was just Roll20 Con is over. Oh, I better just eat cereal in my pajamas and watch Michael Scott and watch Pam and Jim not get together in the first 2 seasons.
I feel like somebody else I know is doing either a first time watch or a rewatch of The Office, because I saw someone tweet, Jim's not such a cool guy after all.
Oh, he's a piece of shit. Like, he's a total piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, if you watch it with Dwight is really not that bad to him. Like, to deserve all the bullshit that Jim. No, when you realize okay, Dwight is obviously on the spectrum, but he's also not doing. Jim should not take half the stuff he does personally.
That's fair.
It's really
I think I would ruin both of their lives.
Yeah.
I think they do a better job in some of the later seasons of ramping up Dwight's atrociousness in terms of with the fire alarm and all of that, bringing a gun to the office, those things.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like, TK,
but maybe Jim made him into the.
TK, when you say I would ruin both their lives, I just imagine a series of pranks back and forth between them, and then one day you just stab one of them in the chest. You're like, funny joke, right? And then they just die on the carpet.
No.
Stanley, what's going on?
I promise I'm much funnier than that. I am definitely. The thing is when I watched The Office, the first favorite character that I had on there was Andy, so of course.
Mm-hmm.
But then my second favorite was Kelly the second time I watched around. So I'm a pretty terrible person.
I think the more you watch The Office,
Creed is my favorite.
Everyone ends on Creed. You can watch the more times you watch The Office, you realize it's just about Creed.
Well, it's because Creed is the only subversive character, right? Everyone else, to some degree or another, even if they roll their eyes, they are participants in the Office's power structure, whereas Creed is the filthy Golgari agent who has slipped into the office and is just I don't know, I'm just growing beans in my desk. What's up?
Selling the office equipment because he thought,
Yes. And that actor is he's really done some of those things too. He plays guitar and he's all and then I went to this festival and stuff and he was really there and it's wow. It's did you wander on set? Are you actually in the show?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
him and Meredith.
They're both writers, right? A lot of the second sort of secondary characters are the writers of the show, and I think many of them are named the same as the person too. They're just we didn't even come out. We're just this is their. It's fine.
Creed Bratton, Creed Matten. Perfect.
Yeah.
I remember watching it when I was younger, and then I got to the Scott's Tots episode, and I put it down, and I never picked it up.
That's a hard episode.
That is.
I skip it every time.
Never again. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll get back to rewatching it eventually, but that scarred me so much.
It was hard for me the second time around. Now I kind of count down to it, almost like Stanley does for Pretzel Day. I'm oh shit, Scott's that disappointment and all of the secondary cringe energy that you get from it. You're just yes, feed me.
I didn't know. It was Katie, you were what, 3 when The Office aired? Were you
Yeah, just fucking I said when I was younger and someone who let you watch The Office yesterday.
Well, so I forgot about this. I actually had to go back because YouTube has added this new thing when you upload a video. There's a checkbox that says, "Are there children in this video?" And I had to go back to the first episode and go through every single one and click that box. Like, oh, man.
Guys, we're wasting too much time. Katie's mom's gonna be picking her up in an hour.
We gotta come on. Let's.
Yeah. Her permission slip for Twitch specifies 3 hours to the dot.
Luckily, she's a twin, so we can switch the other one in.
What's interesting is that Katie won't get the royalties to the show for another 5 or 6 years. So.
It's true. There are royalties.
It's so good.
Listen, when you're a child star, you gotta think about these things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I made fun of you that one time, Katie. Will you please share your Lunchables with me at GHC, please?
I'm keeping my gushers to myself.
So, Katie,
are they wild berries?
If you still can't think of a good Halloween Twitter name, Baby May. There you go.
Oh,
that feels.
I liked Katie Mame. I thought that was a good one. I thought that was
Katie Mame is good.
I'll change my Twitter to that right now. Katie Mame.
Baby.
Guys, I'm gonna ask a real grandpa question. How do I change my name without changing my handle?
Edit your profile.
You go to
edit my profile.
Yeah.
Guys, that's such an easy answer that I felt like I knew in my bones.
Yeah, just when you go open it up in your browser, it'll give you the option to edit your profile. You can change like your profile pic and your name. I should have made fun of you.
Halfway through your explanation, like, no.
So kind and so helpful, Katie. I don't understand why you keep saying TK's rude. I don't get it.
Katie, just because I won't join your K-pop army.
I said, listen to this one song. Because it
I know how it starts, Katie. I know how that addiction starts. Tomorrow I'm going to be selling Banfit for Coke.
Jesus.
All right. That's fine.
I'll have an alternate Stan account. I'll make YouTubers trend for no reason just so I can share dumb gifs. I don't know anything about K-pop.
I'm excited that you have a plan for not caring enough about this thing that Katie is trying to get you to care about. You're like, no, I've got a defense plan in place.
No, I'll just make her feel really bad about it until she stops.
Yeah.
I didn't bring it back up. I left it alone.
I did watch it. It was very enjoyable. Thank you.
Yes, Blackpink's Kill This Love is a very tech energy song. At one point, they sing in a bear trap. Thank you. End of story.
I don't remember how this happened, but the other day I ended up watching a bunch of baby metal videos in a row because I had forgotten they existed until I guess yesterday.
What's baby metal? I don't know what that is.
It's a Japanese band, and it's basically like Hatsune Miku meets Pantera. They're like they're a heavy metal. It's a heavy metal backing band, but then like an idol group, like the singers are just like 3 young girls, but they dress cute. Like in black and red, and they do like a weird kind of they're actually pretty good.
Also, baby metal led me to Ladybeard, which was also enjoyable but short-lived.
Yes.
So if you want to see a grown man run around in a schoolgirl outfit and sing idol songs, you can watch that too.
Yeah, there you go.
Whatever your kink is, the internet has it.
Thank
no, I would not.
Internet.
I would
It's
not
weird.
tie that to kinks, as there are children in that music video. Katie.
Well,
no, go ahead.
It's okay. Katie is still 16, so she can make some weird comments.
She cannot.
It's so easy to be forgiven for the dumb things you say when you're a child. Hardly fair, really.
No, Katie, I'm sorry. I said
my God.
No.
I turned 24 in like months, and then it's over.
How many months?
We'll bury this bit.
Do you have to count on your hands?
May 2020. That's like a year from now.
Katie.
It's on the other side.
Katie, will we have a presidential election by the time you're 24 or not?
Oh, you can actually vote in this election this year.
Fuck you guys.
What Katie is saying, guys, is that she's not 23. She's 23 and a quarter. Okay, so
Oh.
take her seriously, please.
I'm not one of those people who loves it when they put like all the months in the age. That's absurd.
This is the pre-show equivalent of all of us standing in a circle around Katie and just poking her. Thank you, Katie, for being such a good sport.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you so
you.
much.
This is what you get for trying to be nice to me and send me music.
Yeah, at
videos.
Thanksgiving. This is the family environment I was raised in. At Thanksgiving, they would say it's not Thanksgiving until Katie cries because they had made fun of me so much.
Wow.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stop now because I feel
Yeah.
All right.
Oh no.
So bad.
you should unpack that one day.
Yeah.
Wasn't my-
Yeah, it's like that sounds like a lot of feelings. If you could just whoop, 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 that back up, tuck it right back in your heart.
Genuinely, it was fine. It's not trauma. I promise. I'm crying. It's not trauma.
Yes, grind that turkey. Grind that.
But next time you're going to make fun of me, just think, wow, what if this is a hurt child with years of trauma? And then,
Okay, I will.
I was gonna say, you're just making it easier for TK in this case.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying as many
I
strategies as I can.
do.
I'm learning, and this is I don't know if this is true for anyone else, but I think maybe for me as like an older sibling, I have a younger brother for whom most of our childhood was me playing role-playing games with him and then also picking on him cruelly.
You have a family.
And I feel like every show that I'm on, I just pick someone and I'm like, you're my little brother, and I just tease them. And every show there's at least one of them. And anyone who watches any of the stuff that I run, they're like, yep, it's this person. Katie, it's you in this show. So
little brothers.
that's how it goes.
It's
I'm
all
very-
of you
I'm
except Masood.
Mhm.
It's just all of us.
Unless I have a broken tailbone, and then it's open to
That's right, yes.
You are
Yeah.
a weakened gazelle.
Yeah.
I have 3 younger siblings, so.
Nice. And they never like Voltroned up to fight you,
Oh, you mean like in the present?
or just like
No.
ever?
Oh, ever?
Because I feel like, if I were in that position, I would be like, there's 3 of us and there's only one TK. We have
Oh
like
yeah.
a 50-50 chance to survive.
You know what? If you ever think you can take me,
Yeah, right. Okay, fair. Iron Fist.
because
I see how it
they
goes.
absolutely tried.
Fantastic. Good. Well, I'm creeped out and slightly afraid of you. So good. It's working.
how I fit all the time. Let's see. Anyone do anything crazy this week? Adam, did you get new glasses? What's going on here?
These are old glasses. I have 3 pairs. I rotate through them sometimes. And what'll happen is I put this pair on yesterday, and then it just became the pair that I was wearing, and I sat down just anywhere. And so I'm stuck in this group. I'll just be wearing these for a few days until I'm like, oh, I have other ones, and I'll wear those. But no, they're not new. I just don't wear them that much. Thank you
look
for
like a
noting.
disappointed
Yeah, of
TA
course.
in a good way.
Yeah, I can handle that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm wearing a cardigan
Get
too.
more
It's so like
glasses.
nice and like cool now.
I
Great.
am all about cardigans. Maybe because Mr. Rogers was a huge influence on me very early. But also I feel like there was a moment where I adopted the aesthetic. I was like, I'm going to try and look like a male librarian.
Yeah.
I'm just going to like lean into that look, and like it's cozy, it's comfy, it's like pseudo intellectual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it. Looking smart, but like also kind of like a non-threatening dweeb.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely going to go play
Okay.
some Magic the Gathering on my lunch break and then get back to
Youth
books.
pastor.
I feel like to complete the youth pastor look though, you have to have an acoustic guitar. It's a requirement.
Yeah. Well, you have an accordion now, so.
I
do.
saw that. I saw that
do.
on Instagram. That's maybe my favorite Masood Instagram story of all time. Is you
Someone drop
harassing
that in
somebody
chat.
with an accordion?
Oh, harass is so strong.
I'm sorry, but I'm on
I
their
don't
side
know.
because you look like you were being a nightmare with that
I don't
accordion.
know. That looked awesome. It's the
I saw
happiest
the
I've been
Instagram.
watching a video in a while.
Mhm. It's on, guys. I even tweeted about it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It got 2,000 views. I have no idea how that hopped up, but thank you, people who have been seeing and tweeting about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I now own an accordion, and I'm teaching myself, but The first three, three whole tweets. The first three videos are without any formal training and or YouTube accordion introduction video watching. So,
I really think we need to set people's expectation here. The way you're talking about it is like, I have an accordion in these videos. You know, I didn't get any practice at all. I'm great. What's happening here instead is Masuda's warning you that he has no practice with that accordion at all. So
I have a lot of good comedic timing, but no real.
You have a lot of enthusiasm.
When you learn to play a musical instrument, the first fucking thing you need is comedic timing.
Right, because it's not just look how bad I am, it's look how funny I am being bad.
Yeah, and it's also like not like you're practicing in a room somewhere, like trying. You're standing in the living room while she's watching TV.
Yeah.
TV was off. She had a headache, okay?
Better or worse? Better or worse? Better or worse?
No, I see a TV screen in the. Oh no, that's her phone. Sorry,
Yeah.
she films herself.
There is definitely a moment in that video where you say, "What do you mean your headache's not gone?"
Honestly, I'm surprised. I really.
So
well, I got so it was a whirlwind of like this 48 hours. So Thursday night, someone broke into my car and like stole my backpack, which is like really shitty, terrible situation. Damn. But then the next day, my friend gifted me an accordion. And,
wow.
And I honestly, you got to take the good with the bad, folks. And I'm really excited about it. I don't know if you've ever felt this way about like a musical instrument where it's just like, it's something about it spoke to me. And it's very hard and I'm learning, but like, I just had this immediate idea of doing this like a comedy show centering around the accordion where I start out and do like a bit where I'm just really bad at it. And then do a middle one that's like a little bit better. And then by the end, I tell like a really heartfelt story over this beautiful piece that I'm composed. And yeah, the details of the intermediary steps to get there are still being filled out. But I really like this concept, and give me like 4 years, and then it'll be executed.
Yeah.
4 years, wow. All right, that's what true accordion mastery takes. I thought you were gonna say, "Give me 4 months, I'll be good."
No. 4 years, and TK and Katie, then you'll be 18, so you can actually watch the video.
That's
wherever
how you
I
come to the
upload it.
show. Your parents will maybe let you use the internet on your own unsupervised.
You'll still have an underage wristband ticket, of course. But what can you do?
I literally want one of these episodes for your like parents to come by one time, and we make these jokes,
Mom,
and they
I'm
just
on
like
camera.
poke on camera, and just be like, "Hi."
Jokes on you, dummies. My dad watches this. He texted me a picture of paella and was like, "Looks like Torgor's cooking."
I'm sorry.
Horrible.
I know that, like, I know your parents watch it, and I fully expected you to be like, "Jokes on you, dummies, my parents are dead."
Okay, well, so there are two kinds of people in the world, right? There are Katies who are like, "Jokes on you, my parents love me," and then there are TKs who are like, "Jokes on you, suckers, my mom's a corpse." Gotta go.
Actually, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, we're the same age as Katie's parents, so I'll see him at the high school reunion. I'm sorry, Katie.
I'm sorry I made fun of you when it was very kind of you to teach your dad how to change his name on his profile for Twitter.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Great. Fantastic. Thank you.
Aren't you glad
so
you
much for this,
used all
everybody.
of your healing salve on us?
No, let's not talk about the game. Let's keep talking about the fun things.
I wonder. I honestly wonder what would happen if we just spent 3 hours just doing this and then got to the end of the episode. And we're like, "Cool, thanks for coming, everybody." Like, would I get an email from someone to be like,
"Oh yeah,
Lisa,
we would. we definitely would."
Were you gonna play Dungeons and Dragons or just take up space, you assholes?
Honestly, and not to put like Greg Tito on blast or anything, but that's most of D&D news. So
fair.
I think as long as we're not eating any minis, we're probably fine.
Yeah.
If we say like 2 pieces of D&D news, then we're like, We're done.
Yeah.
We'll do a D&D rewind at the end.
Technically, somebody needs to roll for something, and then we're good to go. Yep.
Nice.
Well, okay, all right. Let's actually
Jokes
play
on
some
you,
Dungeons
chat.
and Dragons.
Lisa
I would
spends all day
die.
roasting me anyway, so.
So I like, Katie, before we started today's episode, I like your question in chat about leveling up and just like getting all your key points back. The answer is no. You do not. It's not how that works, unfortunately. Yes.
Just shoot your shot. That's kind of the thing. I figured the answer was no, but the one time it was yes, I would have gotten us out of here alive, and then we might have been able to do something about Jace Beleren in this episode. Does everyone remember that we have an experience? So when we do experience points at the end, the first question is, did you learn something about Jace Beleren, his conspirators or servants? When was the last time we checked that off?
It was like 2 episodes ago.
So.
Oh, it was for me 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not for anyone else. Yeah.
Okay, so.
Like, genuinely think about 4-year characters.
Yeah.
Now I'm scrolling up in the notes.
When was the last? All right, so
I'm not with you guys, so go ahead.
It's been a complicated evening, right? Because we had the whole Rakdos circus performance situation, in which a giant snake and a manticore were soundly defeated by our protagonists in a glorious Rakdos free-for-all. There were several other clowns involved in this battle as sort of a second phase, and then the Orzhov showed up. And what we know so far about why that happened, it had something to do with Kerfuffle. Kerfuffle perhaps was threatened by Torgor's excellent showmanship, and decided somehow, because like you said, and I think this is the crucial moment. If we were doing one of those like edited like previously on, I would include the scene where Torgor shouts at the giant, "I had more time. My time wasn't up yet," which is an important point. So after scuffling with clowns, manticores, snakes, and briefly with this giant, Torgor, the miraculously awakened Gorbor, I believe he got a 20 on his death save, and the rest of the party, but not Tak. Tak is still in the arena, but hidden. Everyone else fled under the arena into the tunnels, which is great that everybody except your Golgari agent is now operating in the tunnels below the city. It's fine. You don't need them. So you've fled down there. The giant probably tried momentarily to like grab at you. So he had the big pale arm kind of like reaching around in the chamber below. And then the 3 of you with Gorbor in tow fled that way. So let's start with Tak. Let's see what Tak is up to. So Tak, you watched all this. You're the viewpoint of our recap. We end on you. You're hiding behind a pillar, I believe, is the last time we saw you. Let me bring y'all back over here and we can survey the carnage.
Ooh, boy.
So yeah, you watch as the giant realizes that it's not going to be able to get your friends by jamming its arm into the basement and try to grab anybody.
If I had a nickel, right?
The thralls have mostly sort of dispersed. We see them kind of flapping around up above. They're not here to like cause trouble, right? They're just here to kind of provide the giant with a viewpoint from up above. And Kerfuffle sent actually these 3 clowns. They're not here. They've scrambled off to go and find Torgor. So what do you want to do? It looks like the free-for-all is mostly done. The only people around here are corpses and then these Orzhov. What do you want to do, Tak?
Ooh, well, that giant wasn't paying any attention to me, which is great because that kind of implies that the thralls won't pay any attention to me. My friends have gone down like a little grate thing. Do I have any indication of where that grate would go?
Well, I mean, everything
came out, so
everything eventually, like if you just go down, eventually you'll get to the Undercity.
Well, yeah, but
below,
I mean within this.
I don't know. Maybe make a history check.
Yeah, because the way I'm thinking of it, an animal came out. So I don't think TAC knows whether or not it goes back to animal pens or if they just shoved a snake in there asleep.
Yeah, right.
Before the fight or whatever. I don't think. What'd you say? Which one?
History.
Okay. I don't have my glasses on, so.
You're 11? Okay.
Let's turn that sound off.
So yeah, this arena is a repurposed like an amphitheater. Like it'd be an address chamber. Maybe the Senate used it like ages and ages ago. Fell into disarray. The Rakdos have claimed it for this show, but it isn't really anybody's like property necessarily. It's one of these like unclaimed territories. Underneath it, you'd have to make a guess. You don't know for sure where it connects, but there definitely does seem to be a network of sort of backstage tunnels below, so they can move the animals around. But as for where it goes or what it might connect to, an 11's not going to be enough for you to know that.
Okay, I think with TAC making assumptions as TAC typically does, they do know that those Orzhov jerkwads are in the dressing room.
That's right. Yeah, you saw.
So about that.
Yeah, you saw the person who seems like they were in charge.
So kind of feels like a lot of bad guys are still hanging out around here, regardless of whether the fighting has ended. I think I'll go ahead and slip down the grate, but before I do, I'm gonna just make a brief pit stop at any of the bodies that look interesting.
Oh my god.
Okay. So what for you would indicate that a body is interesting enough to stop at?
Okay, so I have a very fine criteria that I have tuned.
Okay.
Most of their hair, all of their teeth, more than one dagger on them, something that makes fire.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a Rakdos environment, so there's lots of knives and fire.
I thought for sure that was gonna rhyme, right? Like I thought that was.
Yeah, I was waiting for a rhyme as well.
Joke's on you. I'm not fucking clever. Okay. I have a 12 intelligence.
Okay, so let's see. I mean, this dead body right near you has a bandolier of throwing knives. So does this one. So you pretty much can grab, up to like a dozen small knives if you loot them quickly.
Knives.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to do that.
Okay. And then over here on the other side of the Manticorpse, and then I think maybe one more there, are two dead fire eaters. So they would have a bottle of like high proof liquor that they would like shoot fire with.
Heck yeah.
And then they have their weird bladed chain thing. But
yeah, I want it.
All right. Yeah.
I want the Molotov kits, and I want the chains, and I want the knives, the pokies.
Okay. All right. Make a stealth check to see if you can do this without anybody noticing you scampering from corpse to corpse.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I feel so nervous now. The higher the number I have in something, the more nervous I am.
Right, the more afraid of the chaos plateau you are.
25.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there like, oh, what if I screw this up? It's a 25.
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna roll two perception checks, one for the thralls and one for the giant.
Oh, come on.
But none of them are.
Is Kerfuffle still there?
7. Yes, yeah, Kerfuffle's up here.
I'm not saying come on to you. I'm saying it to the giant. Like, mind your own business.
Yeah, right. I mean, chances are pretty good. I don't think any of them are capable of beating a 25. Yeah, see, I rolled a 19 and I still can't.
That was scary, though.
Do it.
It's a bit scary.
It was.
Okay, yeah. So nobody here. I mean, I'll even give Kerfuffle a shot at it. Perception is not a high skill among Rakdos. Okay, so nobody notices you as you scamper from body to body.
What exactly is a lampooner in the Rakdos?
So a lampooner is somebody who basically like orchestrates what everybody else is like joking about. Like it's not quite a ringmaster, but it's somebody who's like in charge of a group of other Rakdos.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Trying to fix this.
Yeah, and their main thing is like pick a target and like make fun of them. That's their official job. But yeah, so nobody notices you. You scamper around robbing these corpses. And I think when the giant realizes that it's not going to be able to get through this hole, it leaves, like it turns and walks off through the exit this way. And the thralls go with it. So meanwhile, in the backstage area, what's the plan, and B, who's in charge? Because everybody else is down under the arena. You hear the giant stomping away, and you are, I guess, running somewhere. Where are you going? What's happening? And who is the person leading this flight?
What was the last thing we did? We pulled out Torgor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From the hand. So we're all basically in the same spot. We just pulled him down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Got the door down, right?
Yeah.
Now we're just fucking.
There you go. I was like, I don't think Masood is sitting this still. I guess I'm tack now. Okay, good. Well, you're still Winnegar, Carlos. So please continue.
Always. Yeah. I guess Winnegar just like tries to pull everyone. Like, we need to make a run for it. What are we doing? Come on, let's go. And like heads straight through that door. Just starts running.
Yeah, you're just kind of gonna give her. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you start running. You start running, and I don't know, do people follow Winnegar, you think? I guess by people I mean road, because there's no, I mean, you're basically, you're down below the arena. You're in a big kind of smelly room where they keep the animals and like harass them until it's time for them to go up and do violence. And then there's a formerly locked door that you can now run out. And then you're kind of in like it's not a zoo exactly, but it's like a series of animal pens. So you can hear the groaning of crunch or whatever. And then there are other animals all kind of like locked up in these cages. Are you gonna just follow Winnegar? I'm not sure that Winnegar knows where he's going, but
yeah, he doesn't know. Although I'm wondering if there's any type of like I have urban infrastructure.
That's true.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what this place was designed for, like before they took it over, or if it was designed for exactly this.
Yeah, what is that? What is urban infrastructure? What does that ability do?
Let's see. The League is also involved with mundane tasks of construction and architecture, primarily in crafting the infrastructure that allows Ravnicans to enjoy water, levitating platforms, and other magical and technological wonders. You have basic knowledge of the structure of buildings, including the stuff behind the walls. You can also find blueprints of a specific buildings in order to learn the details of its construction. Blah blah blah.
Okay. So you know how buildings are constructed and kind of like you can ask questions about that. Yeah, I mean, do you have any infrastructural stuff you would like to know about this place?
Yeah, so I guess we're not running in the center of the thing. We're kind of running under the seats, right? Or
yeah, I mean,
which way?
You're below. Let me kind of lay it out. So everything in Ravnica, come on up to the top of the map here, and I'll do a shitty Adam Coble drawing for you.
Okay.
So street level, here's the like arena that you were fighting in. There is a layer underneath of tunnels and access points, some of which come up into the arena itself. Others are just rooms kind of set aside underneath in this layer. So it's all like backstage, but instead of being back, it's like below stage.
Gotcha.
And then probably there's there would be an access point somewhere in one of these tunnels that leads to another lower tunnel that might be used for storage or whatever. And then there'll be another access point into a lower tunnel, which is probably like maintenance and water and like plumbing and stuff down below here. And the further you go, the more Golgari it gets until eventually you're in the Undercity, which is like caves with like cool mushrooms and scary insects and stuff.
Torgor would know this. Is it after one of these matches? Is it like particularly busy outside? Is there usually like a crowd? Is it ourselves in? Or
I think it would depend on the show. First off, kind of like this one, is there anyone left to celebrate it? And that would truly, like,
it's
what
true.
would
Yeah.
the debauchery of the revelry then take place? I think oftentimes the show is so exhaustive in the spectacle of itself that the raucous sort of attitude like forces people to either like drunkenly rage harder and like keep going until they pass out. So it's almost like a last person standing effect. So I imagine the whoever weren't set by kerfuffle to go drink, or like the other entertainers and things like that, they're just having a grand old time, just like having debaucherous fun with one another.
Yeah, I feel like the deal, like post Rakdos party, you're either dead or you wish you were, because like you're so hungover or wounded, right? You end up in the hospital or whatever. Like these parties are meant to be the end of the narrative, not like, cool, where's the Rakdos after party? The Rakdos after party is a grave, basically. So in this case, because there was a free for all, let's roll. I'm going to roll to see, because one of two things will happen. Either it'll burn itself out, right? It'll be like, well, we had our free for all. Everybody who is alive that wanted to participate, they're done. They're exhausted. Or it'll spill over. And if it spills over, this is how we get like precinct wide riots, right? So the momentum of it is dangerous. I think with this, because the Orzhov showed up, it might have like slowed things down a little bit. So I'm going to roll a D6 and we'll say like on a 1 or a 2, a riot has started and it's like spreading into the rest of the neighborhood. The rest of the results, it's just sort of dying off. Oh, okay, cool. It's a riot. So,
yes.
Oh God.
Yeah. So nearby, and this is why the Rakdos are so dangerous. The blood frenzy is spreading. So now there are Rakdos clowns like breaking windows and lighting buildings on fire and basically just like ripping shit up, and it's spreading to other buildings around the arena. So that could be good for you for getting away. Not great for the neighborhood, but that's how it goes.
But we can hear that, right? Like the like screaming and windows.
Yeah. I think probably like there are places, and maybe as you're going through the hall, you look up and there's like a grate or something that leads up into the streets, and you hear glass breaking, you hear the high pitched manic laughter of a bunch of Rakdos clowns as they run by. Torches in hand, firebombing things.
Okay. I think Torgor. Guys, we can't go out there right now. Like,
no, but give me a boost. Give me a boost right now. I want to open up the grate. I want to push open the grate and keep running, but not leave. To make them, if anyone's following up, they think that we left up that grate.
Yeah.
Just gonna like push it up and then like shimmy back down and keep running.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like make it so they don't. Okay. All right. Let's have you make a. Actually, you just tell me. So, what do you think is like a fair DC? Because I would make you make a deception check, but you're not doing this actively. You're just leaving a clue, and they're going to need to make like a perception check. But what do you think, like, to be fooled by that? What do you think is the DC I got to roll against?
Is it investigation, maybe? Like they're
gonna be rolling investigation. But how difficult do you think it is to?
Or that just like it's Carlos's decision.
I guess it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Yeah, it would probably be a 50. I would think it was a 50-50 on whether or not, because like there could be evidence that like someone else did this, or, like, oh, we still see their footprints on the ground running forward, or, what I mean? So I guess there's like or maybe they didn't have enough time to all of them pull each other up. So I guess it'd probably be a 50-50 on whether or not we're there.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
So Host in the Shell is like in the middle of these riots then?
No, it's a little ways away. You parked it over here. and you guys are here. This is where the circus is.
Mm-hmm.
How our knowledge of the near underground, would it be well enough to make a reasonable guess of how to get underneath the host in the shell from where we are right now? Like, how difficult would that be if we were to go down?
You like without tack, you need to get back up to the surface to be able to orient yourself in any way. Like you're just right now just in a tunnel somewhere, and these tunnels all kind of look the same to you.
Yeah, I think Road hates it down here. Okay. Shit. We're in a pickle, friends.
Oh my God, did Road just say we're in a pickle? Are you drunk right now?
Still a little drunk.
Yeah, kinda.
Road pulls out a bottle of wine for
there you go.
It's okay. Torgor has an idea, and he pulls out his disguise kit. And he's like, I'll just look like Vigo again. I'll just disguise myself as a Gruul Minotaur, and Gorbor, we're gonna have to do the same. We're just gonna be 2 Gruul Minotaurs, okay?
And so when you look over at Gorbor is clearly like tense. Obviously, like was recently very close to being dead. But in this, I think is fairly typical for Gorbor. You can see the Boros on Gorbor's face where he's like, wait a second, Rakdos are running wild. People are in danger. I have to get back to the Legion, right? Like I have to get my friends. We have to go and like help restore order. Mm-hmm. And he's not even thinking about like his own safety or anything. He's just like, but there are people out there and they need me. So when you look over at him, yeah, he's you can see him like kind of antsy. His body language is like, I gotta go.
Gore, no. Wait. Look at yourself. I nearly committed myself to an unending life of torment because I thought you were dead. You're no good to anyone like this. Okay? Let's get out of here. You can get to a Boros barracks and then make your return here. I just don't think you're just not good to them like this. Like trying to like really like play like this pragmatic approach. Yeah.
Sure. Make a persuade check.
Cool.
Yeah, let's see if you can persuade your okay. All right. So here's what you get, right? You see him and he's like looking up through the grate that Winnegar opened while you're all trying to decide where to go. You can hear the chaos outside spreading. Maybe we hear like more glass breaking and screaming. And you see him, his nostrils flare, and he like hits the wall like out of frustration, like, and he's like, you're right. Gorbor is of no help to anyone up there like this. You have to get me to the Legion. There's an outpost not far from here. If we can get there, they can help put down this riot. Why did the Orzhov show up? What's going on, Torgor?
Leans over to Torgor, and I think she thinks she's whispering, but she's kind of not. She's like, Torgor, we can't go to the Boros Legion, and I think you know why.
Wink.
Well, let's just say, Gorbor, I signed a contract with the Orzhov. I was supposed to have more time before they came for my body and soul, but something has happened. And you know what? We can use this to our advantage. In their confusion, the Orzhov will probably get caught up in what's happening. And I'll be honest, we can't go into the Boros outpost with you, but we can get you there. And then I'll come by and I'll see Nance and the kids like next week, and we can just chat about all this once it dies down.
I think Gorbor, like you see his shoulders slump a little bit. You hear his armor like rattle. Mm-hmm. And he says, all right, whatever you say. And you can see the disappointment where he's just like, I can't do anything I'm just one Minotaur. I can't do anything from down here. Like I have to put myself in your hands.
And so hands him her bottle of wine and goes, also, I'm like one punch away. I saw you do some like fun healing magic, and I'm like one punch away from dying forever.
Oh my God, is Road flirting with you right now? We need to go.
There's no time.
He has a wife. God, it's not the time.
Sexism. I'm just supposed to be dead.
Yep.
It's the opening riff to like sexual healing plays.
Let's see. He does have one healing spell remaining. He has one first level spell slot. Who is so he looks at you, Road, and then he looks around at everybody else. How many hit points does everybody have?
16.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, that's how many I had used, by the way. If it says 1, that's how many I used. So,
so you're counting up. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I was counting up.
Okay, cool. So he actually has lots of.
Yeah.
Okay.
He should have all but 1.
Vinegar has
He has nothing else. But...
Yes. Yeah, I see how you're doing it now. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So he can heal three people. He can cast it 3 times.
He should also heal himself because he has 1 hit point.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. So let's do that. So there's Road.
Okay.
Here's Vinegar. Okay. And how many hit points do you have, Torgor?
I'm 16. I'm good. Yeah.
He heals. He does his like prayer to the Boros Legion, like blessed angels, glorious be thy wings, hallowed thy flames, bring justice to our enemies. And he places his hand on your shoulder, Road, and the healing works, but it feels like being on fire for a second. And like you could see how maybe if you were like a Boros nerd, this might get you like pumped up, but just kind of hurts for a minute. And then your wounds, you see them like smoking as they like disappear.
Arms of the Angel starts playing.
The arms of an angel.
But it's by Johnny Cash. It's Arms of the Angel, but it's by Johnny Cash.
And then with his last slot, he turns to you, Torgor, and he starts like he comes over to you and starts rubbing his hand together and starts praying like he's gonna heal you.
No. Brother, really, you. I will be fine, and I will last longer knowing that you will get through this.
And he scowls and he says, the only reason I couldn't protect you is because I was unconscious, and I'm conscious now. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. Are you his younger brother or his older brother?
I'm his older brother.
Yeah, okay. And he's like, I can't let anything happen to you. And are your parents alive?
Torgor doesn't know.
Okay.
Torgor has had no communication with them in like the past 20 odd years. So
okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna let you as a DM enjoy that little nugget.
Yeah.
Just so tasty.
So he's like, so he's like, I can't let you get hurt. I gotta make sure you're all right. Mom would. He scowls and kind of like turns his head like, we'll talk about this later. And he finishes the prayer, and you see the sort of flickering aura heal him for, let's see. He gets cool 5. All right.
Nice. I move towards the door and just kind of like, I want to do a perception check. I know listening isn't a thing anymore, but I would love to like percept around the corner in this. Yeah.
You want to scroot what's down the hallway? All right, make a perception check.
I'd love to. Let's go. -2.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right,
buddy.
The hallway outside. So you come to the edge of the like menagerie area where the animals are, and you open the door and peer out and look into the hallway. While this is happening, Road, you hear like a faint whining sound coming from one of the like nearby like doors. So these are wooden doors with iron like bars in a like window, so you can look inside.
So wait, we can be seen?
So this is just into one of the like cages. You hear something like injured, like whining in one of these cages.
Oh, I look around. Where's the sad whining coming from? I'm drunk and empathetic.
Yeah. I'm drunk, which means I care a little bit. So you take a look. You take a look through one of the windows nearby, and you see in this room, there is a stone block sitting in the middle of the room, And sitting on the block, there is a bunny. It's a little brown bunny rabbit. And it's just sitting there, like wiggling its nose. And you peer through, and it like looks up at you and kind of like sits up, like wiggles its nose at you.
Oh my God, you're so cute. Where, come look at how cute this bunny is. Look.
I'm gonna go check out the bunny.
Okay. Yeah.
Do I know what this bunny is? Can I roll something to
You roll a nature check if you want.
Katie, I will Venmo you $20 if you touch that bunny.
Right. Wait.
So the way, so what you're looking at is, it's like a small herbivore, fairly common in rural areas of Ravnica. They like carrots. They're known for jumping really high. They're kind of like skittish. They reproduce quickly. That's what you know about the thing you're looking at.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's pretty cute. I mean, we're about to die. We should just go, though. I mean, I can get you a bunny later.
It was sad. It's trapped.
Guys, no.
Yeah, and it definitely when you say that, Rode, it looks up at you and its eyes are all big and watery, like, and it honestly, like, it's sitting up now and it almost looks like it's begging. It's got its little paws up in front of it.
Do I turn back and see them all crowded around this Rakdos cage?
Yeah. So
do
Torgor,
I know better?
So Torgor, we cut back to you. You look outside. You look up and down the hallway, and it looks empty when you take a look. So there isn't anybody like walking around. And then you turn back in. Yeah, Gorbor is like leaned against the wall, kind of like winded. But Rode and Winnegar are both peering through one of the windows at some creature.
No.
Venmo up right now.
No. Don't get away from that cage.
You can open it from the side if you want to.
I'm gonna try and beat them to it. I really
get away from there.
Get away! It is a Rakdos monster. Okay, like it's no good.
I don't know if it's a monster.
Fight for us. I open.
It's just I'm gonna open it. So you open the. So you open it, and the bunny just like sits there waiting for you to come over and pick it up. Right, just kind of is all fluffy and just sits on the stump, like wriggling its nose at you.
Or you must be friends with this bunny. Introduce me.
Bunny.
No,
Torgor, can you make a religion check?
Hell yeah. I would love to. It's probably going to be bad. Anything wisdom based is not great. Oh, it's intelligence.
It's intelligence. Yep. Okay. Yeah, you don't. I mean, looking past Road, you don't remember there being like a bunny in here.
That is too fluffy and soft to be. Maybe it's food.
Yeah. Sometimes you keep like small food animals.
Yeah, but
this is food.
Just like
you're gonna feed this to something.
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense as to why it would be here. As like just like the gears are turning, like constantly trying to understand why this rabbit is where it is.
Okay.
And that is as far as a 7 will get me.
Yeah. So, and yeah, Rode, it's just sitting there looking at you like hooray, I'm almost free.
It just doesn't.
What are you gonna do?
It just doesn't make any sense.
If I hold the door open for the bunny, does it go to leave at all?
So I think the bunny, when it goes to like, it sees you hold the door open, it's like, okay, and it goes to leave and it puts its paws down. It looks like it's like hurt, like it's one of its paws is hurt, and it kind of like limps a little bit and doesn't leave the block and like looks up at you like, ow, my paw.
Oh no. I'm just gonna make self-imposed wisdom saving throw to see if I can walk it. With a disadvantage because I'm drunk, and we'll see how Rode's feeling about this.
Hey!
Even drunk, you got an 18, so.
Okay. Cool. Can I make some sort of nature or
yeah, so for a minute you're just like, wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
I think with Torgor screaming at me, I'm like, this couldn't possibly. What do you want me to roll? Nature?
It's nature, yeah.
Nice things literally never happen to us, so
14. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so it does look like a bunny. It's yep. And I think the only thing that's unusual is like there's no like food or like poop or anything in this room. Like it's just the bunny sitting on a stone block in the middle of the room.
I looking at him. I also live a lie, but I'm really open for you. And I leave the door open and I turn back. I'm like, let's go.
Okay.
I'm very sad. I'm like trying not to tear up. I'm like, it's fine. Let's just leave.
Okay. Yeah. So you turn and you leave the door open, but you look behind you, and yeah, the bunny is just sitting there on the block. Its eyes are all huge and just like looking at you, his whole lip trembling, like. And you just turn your back on it. You're like, not today, bunny.
Not today. I'm so sad. Rhoda's so upset. She's just gonna probably kill it anyways. Okay.
Like, I have to go back and euthanize that bunny. Excuse me, everybody. Okay, all right. So you turn back around, Torgor. No one is sure exactly what the terrible threat you just avoided was, but it feels like you have managed to not have your friends be whatever terrible thing was going to happen to them. But it's also equally likely that it's just a bunny because it's Rakdos, and who knows what the hell their deal is.
It was a bit. It was all, look at this scary monster. It's just a bunny.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's happened before too.
It's on par.
So you looked out into the hall. You didn't see anybody out there. So you can.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
let's go.
Just like,
wave
let's
everybody
wave everyone.
Okay.
Taking the lead.
Where we go?
Honestly, I make a left out of the path. The route that Torgor is taking.
Yeah, Torgor, you were here for all the pre-show stuff. You know the backstage. So once you leave the animal pens, you can go right, and that'll take you back through the dressing rooms where we saw Tack before, and that'll take you around. And there's an entrance to the seats. If you go that way, if you go left, there are a set of stairs that will lead you upstairs to. You can go down to storage, or you can go back up and out to the front entrance, and then out that way.
Do I know which route would get me access to the sewers fastest?
Down for sure. Yeah, there's almost certainly down in storage somewhere. There'll be an access tunnel to the deeper parts of the city, to the sewer, to the catacombs, or whatever down there. And also it would occur to you that after curtain call of a show like this, there are guaranteed to be Rakdos at all the exits, picking people off as they leave. Thanks for coming. Now die. Right.
Jesus.
We can't. The thralls are still up there. Who knows if Thopters have started appearing? We just gotta go down. We gotta stay out of sight.
All right.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. All right.
Where's Tack?
Right, and when you say where's Tack, hard cut to where's Tack. So Tack, if you want to, you can stay hidden until everybody leaves the arena, and then it's just you and a bunch of corpses. Or you can slip out if you want to. People are still like it's soon enough that people are still trying to like leave because there was a crush of people, and now there's a riot outside. So there's chaos going on, so you can take advantage of that kind of however you like.
I don't know. Don't love that. Don't love getting hit with knives as much as I love hitting other people with knives, which is that's the main difference between in Tack's mind, that is the main difference between them and like chaotic type people. Chaotic type people like getting hurt. Tack likes hurting other people.
Right. Yeah.
Do I have any notion if my Undercity paths would relate to this tunnel, or do I have to get to the actual underground to use it?
You're in a position to better lead people to the underground, but you don't always know where all of the access is. Once you get down there, once you find that you get low enough into that layer, then it all kicks in. But you do have like a better chance of finding those access points versus like your friends, because they're not as used to it, right?
I think that Tack's first thing will be like, well, I need to get to the sewers if I'm going to get to the underground, which I usually am, because that's the access points that I use to travel to the cafe, which is where I assume they will go. In that case, I'm gonna head to the vomitorium because that's gonna lead straight to the sewers.
Yeah. So you want to head out that way and then find an access point from there. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Try to triangulate.
Yeah. All right. So everybody's kind of like maneuvering around trying to get to the same point. I like it. Okay. So somebody, Torgor, it sounds like you're in the lead. I guess we cut back to you as you reach the stairs, heading down to the storage room or the storage tunnels, because again, it's not really a room. It's like a series of maybe like an abandoned train, like is it train station, and they've filled it with like boxes and stuff. And so you're at the entrance to that. There is a gate that you're pulling open. It's got a sign hanging over it that says storage with an arrow. And so you're pulling this gate open and everybody is starting to rush in, and you hear down at the other end of the hall, there they are. And you look up and you see, and this is very much like this is the like Darth Vader entrance scene, right? Where you see like the guy surrounded by his faceless guard. Now, Tack, you've seen this dude before. We see an Orzhov, some kind of important looking Orzhov, because he's got a bunch of gold jewelry and a long cape, and he looks like an Imperial officer, and he's dressed all in white and black. And you see him come around the corner, and he's flanked by a half dozen like white lacquered armor Orzhov soldiers. And the guy that you see, he points and he's like, there they are. And the guards all snap their spears and start jogging towards you. What are you gonna do?
I move everyone to keep running and end up being the last person behind, and just start dumping boxes behind me, and just like all the other storage that's in this space to put distance between me and them. And then ideally I would love to get to a space where I would love to start there, just like make because I imagine they're coming from upstairs, so they're coming down the stairs. Yeah,
so you're standing at the entrance to there's a long stone hallway. You're standing at the entrance to a stone staircase that leads down into the storage tunnels, and they are coming down the other end. So you hustle everybody into the stairs.
Yeah.
And then as you are going, you want to like knock over some boxes and try to like slow them down. Like, I guess do you want to try to escape? Yeah. Do you want to try to escape by running, or do you want to try to escape by hiding?
Running for sure.
Yeah. So this is it's a speed situation.
Just like booking it, and the boxes aren't too obscure vision, just to make the terrain difficult.
Yeah. Just to slow them down. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let me roll I'll roll an athletics check, and then if half of you can beat it, then
I'm
we're
just shadow stepping.
Then we're good.
With, like,
yeah, so Road, for you, like, yeah, stealth is the easier way, right? And I think if you can't outrun them, you might have a chance to hide. So for now, you're just trying to get anywhere that's like away from these guys, right?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, shadow step, I can just go like an extra 60 feet just for funsies on top of whatever like movement we're doing. So I'm just shadow hopping down this whatever place we're running.
Yeah, no, that costs key points though, right?
Shadow step does not.
Shadow step doesn't. It's just your action.
Bonus action.
That's so cool. So fast. Okay, cool. Well, you're doing the same thing as everybody else, but way cooler.
Great. Cool. So, I didn't know that. Get me out of hoping I don't. So.
I mean, it helps, but okay. So let me roll. Let's see. They got a +3. So +3. Okay. All right. So 13 is the number to beat on athletics to run away from these dudes.
Athletics? Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, so it's 1 and 1. All right, Road.
Nice. Wow, -1. So that's really amazing.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll just to see, but you're okay because more than half you got it. Let me see how old Gorbor does here. And Gorbor got a 16. Okay, all right.
Cool.
So basically what happens is you come down, you knock over a bunch of boxes, slow them down. They run down the stairs, smash into the boxes, right? It stops them. And it's all dark down here. Of the three of you, does anybody not have dark vision? I think Winnegar and Torgor both? Or Winnegar, can Vidalcan see in the dark?
I don't know actually. Where would it be on the sheet?
For me, it's like
right hand side, like probably fairly high on the list, but partway down. Under like where all your sorcery abilities. I don't think you do.
Yeah, I don't see it on there.
Okay, all right. So Torgor and Winnegar both will need some kind of light source. Right now there is some like you're in dim light because there's like there's probably some kind of emergency lighting down here because like I said, it's like an abandoned train station. So you come down onto the platform and there's boxes everywhere, and there are some emergency lights, and I think that the guards, when they come down, they have those helmets with the central like port on them, and they start to shine lights into the dark, so we can see them like shining their lights looking for you as you run down the tunnel. Now from here, you basically have to jump onto the tracks and then run out that way. That's pretty much your only way further down from here. But yeah, they basically like lose you on the tracks as you run off into the dark because they're too slow. And basically we hang with them for a second when they stop, and they kind of like turn to each other and they run back because they're like, oh, they're on the train tracks. We'll find them another way, and they give up direct pursuit.
Does the Orzhov guy do that mean thing with his cape?
Yeah, totally. Like he comes down onto the train platform, and they come back, and one of them is like, "We lost them on the train tracks, sir." And the guy is like, "I'm very disappointed." And like they all kind of look at each other like, "Oh God!" And then he swoops his cape, and he's like, "We'll get them at another entrance. Come on!" And he heads back. Yeah,
they all say, "I'm sorry, Orzhov Daddy. I'm sorry."
Was it our dad? Was it the person we made a deal with? It's the same.
This is a different guy. We've never seen this guy before. Well, Tak has, but
yeah.
So he swoops his cape, and all of them head up the stairs.
Also, Masood, we cannot make daddy jokes. We do have a minor in the cast.
You're right. And her dad is actually watching. So
guys, come on. We can't keep doing this. I'm going to get so much shit from Katie's dad at the high school reunion. I can't keep making this.
Yep.
As we're running down the train, I would love. Can I look to see if there's any sewer access now? Like if there's like
I think that's kind of where you're headed. So Tak. I mean, I think it's reasonable for this to be the part where you like reunite with Tak, right? Where you both end up in the same place. So you're running down these train tracks, and ahead of you, a door opens, and you see a figure like dash out in.
Can we roll to Scooby Doo run into each other?
We're gonna attack you like last time. That's gonna happen.
Oh well, then I'm gonna definitely.
So I think
Torgor.
Yeah, I mean, I think in this case, like it's light enough and stuff that Tak, you know that there are some abandoned train tracks down here, and that from the tracks you should be able to access some of the lower level tunnels. Especially like these abandoned stations and tunnels are a great way to get around because they lead so directly from place to place, even if they're not in use. And somewhere there's a switch too. And I think maybe when you come in the door, we hear, either below you several floors or like on the other side of a wall, you can hear the like of like a train going by in the distance. Maybe some dust falls from the ceiling. And Tak, you burst out of this door into the hall. And
I step out. I'm wearing like 3 bandoliers.
So many daggers, just covered in knives.
I just like step out. I'm holding like a Molotov cocktail. I look over. I'm like, whoa, you guys look like shit.
Just covered in dirt and blood. Yeah. Tak!
What's up, nerds?
Oh, man. Good. So glad you're alive. How did you get out of there?
Yeah.
I wasn't in there, suckers.
Oh, I just saw them show up, so I just left.
Oh man.
Yeah. So smart.
Yeah, I know.
We need to get out. Should we go to like the Rose? Someone Orzhov who would know what the fuck is going on?
Katie, Gorbor needs to get to a Boris outpost first.
I'm Road.
All right, Road.
Who's Katie?
I actually thought that was purposeful.
Yeah. Masood was elevating there to like personal level. Hey, my made up Minotaur brother needs help.
Katie, you said you finished your homework.
So yeah, Gorbor looks like better, but still, pretty beat up.
I think we got to drop off.
So you don't want your brother to know that your soul's going to get taken in like 3
We're going to talk about it next week. It's not going to get swept under the rug. Okay, Gorbor, I think stop projecting Road about you and Triska. Like,
you almost abandoned your brother, and I think that's despicable. I think you need to tell him what to do.
I was going to turn myself in for him instead of turning my back on him for him.
I think that you should just tell him what's going on.
Tack has taken out some candies and it's just like sitting on the edge of the train tracks, is just like dangling their little legs and just eating.
It's so great seeing this turned around on Road too, where Road like recently was just in a very similar situation with Triska.
This is great. I love it when people are uncomfortable.
Fine. You know what? We had to break someone out of an Azorius jail, and in order to do that, I had to sell my soul to an Azorius Senate member. I thought I still had 2.5 months left on my contract to somehow wiggle my way out of it, but turns out I can't trust the Rakdos for shit, because my ringleader, Kerfuffle, now views Torgor as a big enough threat, which is a little bit, it's a little admirable, but it's still infuriating, because now, looks like Road over here, I'm guildless suddenly. Is that what you wanted? Like Torgor is so tired at this point of like getting into a fight that he almost won and then died embarrassingly because he jumped and then just fell on the ground. And then when he came back to life, like it all set in how real it was, because then his brother just got knocked out. Like he is very aggravated, and probably doesn't mean the hurtness that he's saying, but is now just at his wit's end, being like, is that real? Okay, is everyone caught up now?
Isn't your brother a cop? Is this what we're doing now? We're just talking to cops all the time.
So Gorbor turns to you, Tack, and he says, well, technically Gorbor is a legionnaire. The Boros, we're more of a semi-organized vigilante military force. It's different. It gives us a little bit more operating free. Listen, I'm not here to talk about the differences between us and the Senate. But
wait, so you're like a neighborhood watch that's just allowed to kill people whenever you want? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Hey.
So like if you see somebody doing a bad thing,
it depends on the thing.
Sounds like a cop to me.
Yeah, that sounds specifically like, just like, am I the only person who hasn't talked to cops? Have you talked to cops, Winnegar?
I mean, I guess so. I have talked to cops.
You
before.
did. You went to a cop bar.
I went to a cop bar. Oh, that was fun.
Why?
Guys, we should get out of here.
So Gorbor says, eventually those Orzhov are going to come find us. I need to get back to the Legion base. I need to get above ground. And he looks at the stairs you just came down, Tack, and he says,
oh, no. And Tack just like closes that door.
No. Well,
I really respect your love for your job, but this is kind of about your brother's soul. I'm not calling you insensitive, but I think that should sort of be like the first thing on our plates right now.
Listen,
on our plate. Yeah.
They both start talking to you at once, and Gorbor's like, listen, Road. Now, I don't know how long you've known Torgor, but it's not as long as Gorbor has. And Gorbor learned a long time ago the best way to handle Torgor is let Torgor make his own mistakes. Gorbor has seen this time and time again. We've been in enough fights, me and this one, over bad decisions both of us have made. It's better to just let it lie. So sure, if the Orzhov are coming for your soul, and you say, You made a deal with them for it? I can't help you with that, Torgor.
I know.
Gorbor has a greater responsibility to the people of this district, this city, to Ravnica. And that's through the Legion. And I got to get back upstairs and join my comrades. And we got to put down this riot that your friends started, Torgor.
Hector looks at Winnegar and is like, this is a cop. Like, am I crazy?
Oh yeah, it's definitely, you can, like, there was wind that came out of nowhere that was blowing his hair in the wind, and there was a cape too. And I don't know where those strings came from, but yeah, this guy's definitely a cop.
This is a cop.
Torgor looks at Gorbor and it's like, just all right, we're gonna get you to the closest staircase to a Boros Legion, and you need to get out of here because Road is right. This is we got some stuff to deal with the Orzhov, and that's. I asked you for a fight, and you fought the fight. And honestly, you did better than me. But you just look after Nancy.
We all nod.
Kids.
We're like,
Yeah. Just kind of like, yes, that's true. Just somebody holds up a little 8 on a piece of paper.
It was great. I like the part where you ate shit.
Thanks, Dak. I'm sure I knew you would. And he's just like, okay. I suggest like, let's just keep going. We're gonna drop you off at Tack. Can you find?
So I think if you're gonna,
where's your
if the plan is to part ways with him, like you could do it here. Like this is a route that leads back up to the street, and he knows how to handle himself in a riot. He has a few more hit points than he did before.
Cool.
But
just put on your helmet so they don't recognize you. Just wear like truly like, yeah. Everyone. Well, actually, I some of the Rakdos would recognize him, but everyone else who is in there is now dead. So
and also, like the thing is, aside from those 3 clowns that Kerfuffle sent specifically to go look for you, honestly, most of the Rakdos that are participating in this riot that is happening above ground, it's not really what I would call targeted mayhem. They're pretty much just like, we don't even know. We're all fired up and burning stuff, and there's no reason. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the Rakdos team lost the Super Bowl or something, but they're just like, they don't care. They're just freaking out. The chaos is for its own sake now.
My Microsoft friends are okay.
I'm more concerned about like TK is more concerned about like a cop wandering out into the middle of a dangerous riot, since we saw how the Rakdos felt about Triska.
Mm-hmm. Well, so here's the thing. The difference between...
I guess that's Azorius.
Yeah, the Azorius would come out and flash their badge and be like, Ravnica Police Department, everybody calm down. Whereas a Boros would come up and just start fucking tear gassing people.
Right? Squad.
Just thunk, thunk, like, get out of the way. There's no more talking. Right? So yeah, I mean, he knows the trouble. He's been fine. In a riot or two
fine.
before.
Yeah.
It's probably fine. It's probably fine.
And honestly, if he's not fine, solves all our problems. So
okay. No, look.
Okay, look. I'm sorry, that was insensitive.
Okay,
you're right.
Gorbor, I will see you on Tuesday for dinner, and we will chat.
And he nods, and he like grabs your wrist in that like warrior handshake. And
I was like, what do you do? And I pull him in for a full hug.
Okay, yeah. So he kind of stumbles a little bit, and like, it's like hugging a tin can because he's got his armor on. And he takes out his weapon and gets his shield and like tightens the strap. And
I adjust one of his pauldrons.
Yeah, like, and he nods and he says, it's like right, Tuesday. And he leans in and he kind of like butts heads with you like gently, like thunk. And then he heads up the stairs, leaving our 4 fugitives down below as chaos reigns in precinct 6. Where to, friends?
I feel like there was an unnecessary emphasis on fugitives, as though we haven't run from the cops before.
Oh yeah, this is like, it's not new. It's just still
you gotta
true.
Say, I mean, it's Wednesday.
I'm so tired of this.
Yeah.
The fact that it's in a underground train passageway, I think, makes the real fugitive move.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Yeah. Turns out this Orzhov dude is played by Tommy Lee Jones.
I'm imagining. I don't think I've ever seen Tommy Lee Jones in a cape.
No, I don't think so.
Even when he played Two-Face.
Yeah.
But now I am imagining him as Tommy Lee Jones.
It is. Yeah, it's definitely like early 90s Tommy Lee Jones, and not like now, because this guy's not super old. So.
Guys, Katie's zoning out. We gotta make more relevant references.
I absolutely lost me.
Okay.
I try to remember to smile and nod when I don't get what's going on, but sometimes I forget to. Where are we going?
We gotta lay low. And we can't lay any lower than the Golgari.
What the fuck?
I mean, it's literally true, but
yeah.
I mean, but
we don't have to stay with your mom, but I think.
Oh, that's probably for the best. She's busy.
I look down the staircase, and we should contact the Rose. We should figure out a way to get a message to her, and we haven't heard from her a while, and I'll be honest.
Yeah, we're actively being hunted. You're actively being hunted.
I'm actively. I mean, your apartment's gone. And people might be looking for you.
Yeah, just bring that back up.
It was like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
She's in the morning process, man. Just.
I'm fine.
The undercity, like the tunnels where the Golgari like live and stuff, is a great place to go if you want to. Like a lot of people who are hiding from things on the surface eventually become dwellers of the undercity because it's a great place to hide, right? Mm-hmm. So that's certainly true.
Winnegar, is there? Yeah.
Winnegar, what do you think?
Is it protect us?
Oh, is everyone asking me where I think we should go?
This is a bad idea. I already regret this.
Everybody turns and like Winnegar suddenly is in the spotlight. Yeah, what do you think, Winnegar?
Let's see. I mean,
whatever you say is going to be a hard no from me, but I just want to listen to what kind of dumb bullshit you say.
Tech, that was so rude.
That was pretty rude. I mean, I was about to. No, I'm not gonna. Are you gonna cry? See how I flipped it on them?
I did, best friend. I did.
I like hearing that. What were we talking about, guys?
His voice just gets a little higher.
Yeah. I just like that we're all here and we're all having fun, right?
Yeah, right. Because there is a moment here, Winnegar, where like you can smell fires burning up above. And you're down in a subterranean tunnel and everybody's covered in blood, and it's just like that first mission under the Boros facility way back when. You're like, oh yeah, like we're all together.
It's all gonna work out.
Remember when we
called a rerun
facility for no reason?
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, this was only the intro. What we're gonna be doing for the rest of the episode is just remembering clips from previous episodes.
It's a clip show. It's in our contract.
Another window shows up on the overlay and it's like Tosh Plane out.
I guess it would just be if we did a clip show, it would be Dove and Ban watching ornithopter feeds of various things that have happened throughout the
Oh my gosh, like early Toonami with Molten.
Yeah. Right, yeah, little known fact, Dove and Ben is a VJ on his spare time for whatever the Ravnican equivalent of MTV is.
I like to think that it's more like TGIF. Those are the best.
I forgot that they had like interstitials in between the shows.
It was very weird.
It was very
weird. What is
weird,
considered a viral video for? Never mind. It doesn't matter.
So
sorry. Go ahead.
The question becomes then, where are you gonna go?
Are we on the train right now, or are we?
So you're in an abandoned train. You're on the abandoned train tracks. So up above there's like a stripped wiring. Right, it used to be the power cable for the train. There are rails down below, and then there are those two little like raised areas on either side. It's like every abandoned subway tunnel from every movie ever. And there's like graffiti on the walls.
So nothing's moving though.
No, you can hear a train like below you because there's several levels of like train tunnels and stuff that is built throughout Ravnica. So you can hear every once in a while like when like the dust coming down, but you're not on an active train track.
I want to get on an active train track.
Okay.
No,
why not?
That's not.
I can jump on one. I can hotwire one of these things.
Why? When we could walk? What are you
fucking badass road?
I didn't ask how we were gonna get there. I asked where you wanted to go.
Pat looks at Torgor and is like, did Winnegar cuss?
I'll be honest,
Winnegar's
I'm a little proud. I feel like Torgor's been a bad influence, and I love it.
Winnegar's trying new stuff, you know.
Winnegar's
that kid who's just like, yeah, the teacher's a butthole, right? Looking at everybody like, yeah. How did that land? You like that? Was that good? All right, cool. We're going with that one.
Did I rebel?
Did I rebel?
I also want to offload some of my weapons that I found into Torgor's bag because they're heavy.
Okay. All right. Yep. That's fine. So yeah,
I want some. I want one. Can I have one?
No, you're arguing with Winnegar.
Oh, you're right. Where do you want to go?
Wait, what? Are we still arguing? You started talking to Tack.
You're right. I have a throwing knife, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
where do you go?
I don't know. This is really hard, actually.
Yeah.
I worry about contacting the Rose because Rao knows who they were, right? Like, is the Rose also in hiding?
So from what you know, as characters, the Rose is compromised because Dovin Ban knows who she is because Winnegar told him. So whether you trust Dovin Ban or not is kind of like whether you. Also, the only way to get in touch with the Rose is to go to her house because that's the only way. Like, because you know where she lives. Yeah. And you don't know, like, if any of the drop points are still being checked or anything like that.
Obviously, I can't go to the Rose's house, though I'm clearly the best person to talk to her about this issue.
Why wouldn't you go to the Rose's house?
Because this, and I just like point to like listening to chaos and you could go and then just tell me what happens. Like, I just don't think all of us need to be there.
The reason we would go is because someone is actively looking to separate your soul from your body in like a really big kind of way. And if your 3-month contract hasn't expired yet, that means that there's some sort of corruption, and the only person who's going to know what kind of corruption's happening is the Rose.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of true.
She is both, like, yes, she's your supervisor. She's the person in charge of your cell, and so yeah, definitely the person that will connect you to the larger conspiracy that does actually have resources that might be able to help you. But she's also a ministrant in the Orzhov, so she might be able to figure out why your contract got called in so early to her.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Well, you make a lot of sense. And
would you like a sip of wine? I'm sorry for yelling.
Thank you. I'm sorry for being curt. Family makes us different sometimes, and takes a drink, hands it back.
I hand it to Winnegar.
Okay, yeah. Winnegar drink. Pretty cool, huh?
I mean, less so because you commented on it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Still sort of cool.
Still pretty cool.
Still pretty cool. Do we go right now or do we go after a night's sleep?
Where?
Yeah. Like, are we boxcar kids?
Living that hobo life.
I got my bindle right here. I'm ready for it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, you guys. The Boxcar Kids series got me through Accelerated Reader in elementary school. I always got that pizza party.
I feel like Tack has a +1 bindle.
No, that was TK, but yeah.
I feel like that was Tack, though.
Yeah.
That was definitely.
I love the Boxcar Kids.
I think Tack does read. I think Tack has a decent intelligence. So I think
I can imagine,
just don't read anything interesting.
I can imagine Tack at home with a book and a pipe and a monocle, and like the book's upside down and there's bubbles coming out of the pipe. And
I offer Tack some wine. Would you like some?
I told you I'll stop reading my Zanga. Tack does take the wine. And
I feel like this wine's. I can't trust this wine for whatever reason. This is Demir wine. Are you drugging us right now? What is happening? Demir wine, drugged wine.
Demir.
I regret drinking this wine already. I'm waiting for the backstab.
All right, whatever.
Like you're all, like it goes from like we have to get away from the Orzhov to like everybody just staring at each other like they're in a Tarantino movie. Like, there's nobody else for us to hate, so we better hate each other now.
Oh, I want to be Mr. Pink.
So
I feel like Tack doesn't tip. So
yeah, I think of all of the movies, Tack would fit best in Reservoir Dogs.
They're coming back.
Sorry,
the guys. They're gonna come back. This is the last place they saw us. They'll be back looking for us. So we certainly can't stay here.
Yeah.
If we're hiring another Orzhov's house, that's I don't know. That's probably like diplomatic Orzhov immunity, some bullshit like that. I don't think they'd sue the Orzhov member's house.
How do you suggest we get me through an Orzhov neighborhood?
I gesture to the tunnels that we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, man. Everybody poops.
I mean,
except maybe vampires.
That's true. We haven't figured that out.
True.
Now we get
also,
to learn.
Well, I mean,
also, if they do
have...
poop, is it blood? We don't know.
Well, if they
how do you know if you're
have...
unhealthy? Also,
she'd have a guest toilet, even if she doesn't. Even if vampires don't poop, she would have.
Yeah, but
people.
would all of them?
I mean,
what about the ones that don't have people?
Oh, like
if there's a sewer system, then we know.
How awkward would that be? Like you go to your friend vampire's house and you're like, "Hey, where's the bathroom?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't have one." And you're like, "What?" And they're like, "I just don't hang out with non-vampires that often." And they're like, "You're going to have to go to the Starbucks on the corner." And you're like, "God damn it, Vladislav."
damn it.
But that also means that like that vampire built that house, right? Like they hired an architect. And at a certain point, maybe if the architect wasn't a vampire, they had to have the conversation about the plumbing.
Okay, but let's think about accessibility in the world of Ravnica. So this is a primary vampires are like a big thing for the Orzhov. How many houses do you know have wheelchair ramps?
Right. Yeah, I mean, Orzhov buildings would be less accessible to the living than.
Are you saying like living accessible like features in vampire houses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like I live in a bi-level ranch. Don't come find me, please. But there's like no way if I had friends that had wheelchairs that they could come up to the second floor.
I guarantee Vizkopa Bank has fewer bathrooms per floor or whatever than probably many buildings in Ravnica because there are so many vampires that work at the bank.
Yeah, maybe like they're
it's also the name of my favorite Rage Against the Machine song, Vampires That Work at the Bank. Wham, 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 wham. Well, we're due a break, so we're going to take that now. And when we get back, we'll figure out whether we're going to go see the Rose or whether we're going to hide out in the sewers for a while. Don't go anywhere. Jace Beleren Must Die, which is definitely a Dungeons & Dragons show. I promise. We'll be back in just a minute.